Hey guys, Dr. Adam Miller, founder of Arise MD. I have the distinct pleasure today of being back with Dr. Jeffrey Leake. Dr. Leake, thanks for joining me here.
Welcome, Adam.
To help educate our clients today on this sensational topic of sex. I want to mention before we go any further that these are Dr. Lake's textbooks out on Amazon.com. Textbook of Age Management Medicine, volumes 1 and 2. There's clinician level textbooks here, and then there's a patient version, which we've got right here. Healthy Aging for Women and Healthy Aging for Men. And Dr. Leake, you know what happens when these two parties come together? Sometimes there's fireworks.
Yes.
And
we hope.
Yeah, we hope. But this issue has become pretty interesting in the modern world. We're seeing sex in the media like never before. We see billboards advertising new male, testosterone replacement. So the topic is it's out, okay? But what may not be talked about as much is the reality that erectile dysfunction and sexual dysfunction is on the rise for men. And this is a highly emotional issue. And I've asked Dr. Leake to join me today just to give us a way of framing erectile dysfunction, libido, and sexual fitness. So you've been doing this work for quite a while. Can you help us kind of just frame how best to approach it if one of our clients is going, things in the bedroom are kind of dropping off? It doesn't necessarily mean rush out and get testosterone injections.
That's correct. Actually, testosterone has a role in sexual function, both as a driver of a libido, which actually it does a pretty good job of doing that. And one of the metabolites, dihydrotestosterone, I think is a little more closely linked to sexual drive. Erectile function is also testosterone dependent, but there are many things that affect both of those besides hormones. For one, sleep is a huge issue. So if people are not sleeping well, if they're overtired, it is very difficult to have not only a good libido, but good sexual function. Stress is another thing. If I'm worried about business, my 401k, I'm looking at the Dow, again, that's going to really impair somebody's sexual function, both from a desire standpoint and also a quality of erectile function standpoint. Other things like loss of health status. So as men get older, if we get out of shape, if we get over fat, if we start having other metabolic problems like insulin resistance or even diabetes or cholesterol problems that can impair the vascular function of the penile arteries, there can be a blood flow component to that. So there's a mind component, there's a plumbing component, and then there's a hormone component. And one of the interesting things that we've come to realize in recent years is that actually estrogen, which is typically thought of as the female hormone, has a pivotal role not only in libido, but also erectile function. If the estradiol levels are too low in a man, both of those systems will be impaired. So moving away from thinking of testosterone as exclusively a male's hormone, estrogen is the female hormone, we should really think that these hormones have important functions in both sexes, and they do affect the sexual domain independently and in conjunction, and so they're both important to look at.
And I just want to underscore the notion, the first two things you listed were sleep and stress. He's addressing a medical issue, guys. It's not just a matter of convenience. It's not like having less sleep and having a little bit of stress means sexual performance is going to be less exciting or your orgasm is going to be as fantastic. The reality is the lack of sleep and excess stress is doing a lot of things, including tipping the balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic activity to the penis, but also physiologically affecting you in a way that makes it difficult to get and keep an erection and having a pleasurable orgasm. I think it's very easy for sleep and stress, they're mentioned so often, to kind of go flying over our patients' heads. Like, oh yeah, we all know that anyway, but these are real detrimental issues to our physiology.
I think that they also are a great decrement to quality of life. In my practice, as we try to optimize people's health through quality nutrition, exercise, hormone management, one of the things that I find consistently, it is very, very difficult to fully optimize somebody if they aren't getting quality sleep. This is not only a certain duration of sleep, but also the quality of the sleep itself. And if you have an impairment in the sleep domain, it is like a ball and chain that's attached to your leg, and you might be able to drag it uphill a bit, but it's going to be a lot harder work. And you fix that, and that unlocks the ability to really make better progress in everything else we're going to do.
I grew a beard out just so I could look better next to Dr. Leake today, guys, and I hope that this was useful for you. Dr. Leake, thanks for giving us kind of that bird's eye view and look at libido and sexual function. I'd love to get you back and do a deeper dive on this issue, but we want to say this again, guys. Look at your sleep, look at your stress, look at your overall state of health before you go running after a testosterone injection. You can thank us later, and your wife will thank us later. I'm Dr. Adam Miller, founder of Arise MD. If you have questions, email me at dradammiller@gmail.com, or you can send an inquiry to arisemd.com. Thanks and take care.